All right, Pitmasters. Today on the podcast, we got Russ Allen of Red Bones Competition Team out of Florence, Alabama. He's a backyard cook. He's won multiple awards, including the Kansas City Invitational or Kansas City Chicken Team of the Year for the backyard competition. Russ, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great, guys. How y'all doing out there tonight?
Doing great, man.
Doing awesome. Hey, appreciate you coming on. So, cooking, you've been cooking since 2018. Where did you get the bug? Where did this all start in this your barbecue journey? Where did it come from?
Oh, man. Of course, years ago, Pitmasters come on TV and stuff, and sitting here watching on Saturday evenings, and like, man, that looks like a great fun time right there. And I've cooked all my life and smoked meat, and of course, I got 3 kids, and my girlfriend had 3 kids, and we chased them all over the South down here playing travel ball, basketball, baseball, softball, football. And as they got older, the traveling kind of slowed down a little bit, and we've had a few graduate, and only got one still in school now. So in 2018, I guess we were kind of sitting around and bored, and there's a barbecue contest here in Florence every year, one of the biggest backyard contests in the South. They'll usually carry, I think it was 53 teams, maybe in 2018. And I'd actually went and visited with a good friend of mine the past 2 years and hung out with him, and knew it was going to be a fun time. And so about 2018, we have our cook here at the last weekend of April. So we got talking about it, and I told her, I said, well, let's just, I had a smoker down here that I've been playing around on. So, well, let's just load stuff up and let's go cook this thing, get our feet wet. And that was, like I said, the last weekend of April of 2018. And 53 of the best backyard cooks around, and we ended up getting like a 15th chicken call, a 13th rib, and 12 or 13 in butts, and like 12th or 13th overall. Of course, didn't hear her name called, but when I got the score sheet, and then somebody actually explained to me how that score sheet was supposed to be read, I was like, wow, we were tickled with a 12th or 13th overall finish. And I was talking to a good friend that I've known for years that was down there cooking. He's I call him one of the Alabama legends, Rusty Weaver with Pit Row Barbecue. Been around a long time, real big in the Alabama Barbecue Association years ago, serving on the board and everything. Anyways, he's talking about, well, did you like it? And I was like, gosh, yeah, man, we just kind of fell in love with it, that one competition, getting good calls, and for what we thought was good calls. And he said, you going to do any more? And I was like, yeah, I'd like to, but I don't even know where to go, where to look. He said, well, go KCBS.com, and ABA, Alabama Barbecue Association, so they'll have dates and comps already scheduled on there for the upcoming weeks. And as a matter of fact, there's one in Meridian, Mississippi next weekend. He said it would be a good one to go to, that he's been down there, and it's always just a small group of cookers and a lot of money to be had. Of course, money wasn't even the entry into my mind at that time. It was just the competition end of it, the competitiveness of it. And because that first contest, we cooked, I think, 8 slabs of ribs, 6 butts, and probably 40 pieces of chicken.
Jeez, a lot of chicken. That's a lot
of chicken. A lot of work, man. I was one of the very few that was just started or stayed up all night. And that kind of threw me for a loop, because I just had an old homemade stick burner, and I fired that thing up about 1 o'clock in the morning, put my butts on, all 6 of them, or hear me, I'll never forget now, it was 6 or 8 slabs of ribs, a bunch of chicken, but cooked a whole bunch of food. But anyways, we went down to Meridian, Mississippi that very next weekend and reserved that thing and came home with like $1,100.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, and that's what really got us hooked.
$1,100 for a backyard.
That's awesome.
Russ, you better step your game up next summer.
Yeah, man, that was reserved $1,100.
Jeez.
I think we had a second chicken and a third rib call. I believe something like that. Of course, they paid. I think grand was $1,000, reserve was $800, and then the placement categories got us on up there at about $1,100.
Well, and that's the thing is that up here in my very first competition in the backyard, there was 11 teams, and that was nice, like, oh yeah, 11, cool, that's better than the 7 we usually see. But what is that? What does that backyard scene look like down there in Alabama? It seems to me, especially watching like Bama-Q and stuff, which you were on, is
right.
Is kind of a big deal. There's a lot of teams. What does it look like? How many competitions do you guys usually have? How many teams show up?
Oh man, it's a big group of guys down here and gals, families that travel around and cook these things. And let's see, like last year, well, actually this year we squeezed in 14 contests, I believe.
Wow.
But now that was traveling to, of course, Kansas. Mm-hmm. We did a double in Virginia, Indiana, down to Florida, Georgia. So we traveled more this year than we normally would have because there were so many canceled around home and around Alabama and southern Tennessee. But like last year, we cooked 22 contests just in Alabama and over the edge of Mississippi and right up north, just across the line in Tennessee.
Wow.
So 22 competitions within 5-hour ride from here.
And what's the turnout usually?
Majority of that
in the backyard department.
Probably one of the smaller competitions, like the very, very small little hometown put on by volunteer fire departments, probably 16 teams. It's going to be one of the smaller comps, and anywhere to upwards of, like I said, 53 teams.
Jeez.
At the comp here in Florence.
Right.
But there's probably a dedicated 10 or 12 teams that will go and make follow our in-state trail, the ABA trail. There's probably a dedicated 10 to 12 teams that's going to hit every comp in Alabama for the points. So and with KCBS starting to recognize the backyard teams this year, I hope that'll bring out some new folks and get involved, and that's I try to it's what I've told people when I talk to them out of town at these comps. And, we started on my old hunting trailer, 14 foot, just pull behind it. We put our 4-wheelers on, strapping everything down to it, putting it in weatherproof tote boxes. Y'all may have seen some pictures on Bama-Q, and sleeping in the truck, in the bed of the truck, in a gravity chair, just, catching some Z's when we could. But, of course, we've upgraded some now. I've got a enclosed trailer now with a bed and heat and air conditioner, which is really, really nice.
Isn't it though? Right?
So.
I don't think your team member, Rusty, will sleep in the bed of a truck anymore, will he?
No, we were up in Lake City, Colorado, and he was sleeping in the back of my truck and got visited by a bear. So yeah.
Oh wow! Yeah, no,
not gonna do that again.
Yeah, no, it don't bother me a bit to sit there and sit inside that truck and let it run all night long.
Right. So
yeah, fuel is cheap when you're in the in and around where bear country, I guess. Fuel is real cheap.
Yeah, true. But so what are you cooking on right now? Do you have 2 separate pits for your chicken and your ribs? You cooking everything on the same? What is it?
Well, I guess you can call me crazy like everybody else, but I've been cooking on a homemade stick burner since we started in 18. Up until the week before we left for Kansas, I run over to, we made a midnight run over to Evans, Georgia, home of Rectech.
Oh, yeah.
And I picked up a Bull 700 pellet cooker. And I've been wanting one. I've been getting my tail kicked by these consistent pellet cookers for a while now. I thought, well, if I've here so far in the past been able to just barely hang in there with this stick burner, maybe I can up my game just a little bit with a little more consistent cooker and hope to get close to the same flavor. So, which also helped my thought process was Kansas being so far, we didn't want to take our trailers. I say trailer, take my cook trailer.
Yeah.
And, the fuel expense and everything by the time, plus that cook was at a casino.
Mm-hmm.
So staying in a casino hotel room or you cook trailer down at the cook site. So
they didn't have any poker there, so we
yeah.
So I couldn't go in. I was like, I don't play anything else but poker, guys. Come on, what is this? Some kind of this casino sucks. That was actually a fun time. I love that. It was a great time. But anyway, so you got a rec tech for this, and you.
Yeah, I did, and we piled everything in the bed of the truck, and took off. So I was kind of wanting to. Oh, my stick burner, I've got it like bolted down hard. It probably, I don't know what it weighs. It's probably 800 pounds, I guess. So no way to take it without taking the trailer. So, but like I said, ended up getting a 5th place rib call up there in the 25th or something in chicken. But I don't think it was the cooker. It really surprised me. Those seem to be really, really good cookers so far.
Yeah, we switched from ours when we cook on barrels, and we went from the barrel to Green Mountain Grill, for chicken. It's better. It's just better for chicken.
How about you? Did you notice a difference in the transition?
No, to be honest with you, I didn't. Actually, I felt like I got a better color, of course, on the Rectech than on my stick burner. One thing is, of course, with stick burners, to keep in, we're all in it for fun more than, like I said, the money and everything. I could have bought some really good smoking wood from these sites or whatever, but I just buy from a local logger here, not logger, but tree guy. And it's been getting hard to get fresh wood. And so I have to get it when he has it. I can't get it when I want it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was getting low on my pile. And I was burning some, I call dirty wood, really seasoned wood. And the last few cooks, I hadn't really been getting a good color, and it was running more dirty than normal. That clear blue smoke had went away, and I was like, man. Mm-hmm. So I'm calling him, and he's like, I don't have any hickory down right now. It'll be whatever, 3 or 4 weeks where I get any more. And anyway, so I just kind of aggravated at trying to find good wood. And so I just went ahead and just pulled the trigger and went over there and picked that pellet cooker up. So
yeah, those red techs are beefy.
And then I cooked on it. I cooked on it at Kansas. Then we had another local contest just about 10 miles in the bordering city here, Tuscumbia. I cooked on it at that comp and got I think it was 20, 22 teams there, I believe. I got a 5th in chicken, 4th in ribs, I believe. But just as far as cooking on it, those 2 comps, the color, and transition and everything, of course, the meat, to me, tasted the same. Smokiness was there. Smoke ring was there. But the color was just, I've not seen that color off of my stick burner all year. So yeah. I was happy with it.
Same with ribs too. We've been considering going to pellets and ribs too, but haven't pulled the trigger there yet. But
you should do it. I think you get the perfect color every single time.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I've done
it.
Hey,
them guys, we've been, of course, like I said, since KCBS started recognizing backyard teams and points. We've made really, really close friends with guys up the East Coast here in Virginia and West Virginia. And probably 80% of those guys that's traveling around doing that cook on barrels. They really, really love them and do really well with them. And which I've got a barrel also that I made right after we got started in this. And it'll cook. It'll flat cook. I'd have never believed it out of a thin metal 55-gallon drum, but it'll sure cook some ribs.
So I have a kind of a question, just a regional question. Here in Utah, I can go to every other house and I can find a pellet grill. Like literally every other house you can find a pellet grill. What's it like down where you're from? Are they common, or most people building their own pits in that area?
Yeah, pellet grills are real popular on the circuit. They like Pat and Lisa Swindle, the BBQ that got first place in ribs. He cooks on Traegers and has been real successful on the Traegers. Like probably the top 5 teams in the state of Alabama cook on pellet cookers. It looks like, except for myself this year, it looks like I may end up in a fourth in the state of Alabama this year. They've not tallied the points since the last comp, but the top 3 I know are pellet cookers, and the guy in 5th place, he's either a drum or a pellet cooker. So I still call myself fairly new in this, because actually we got about a half a season in 18. Last year was our first full season. Then this COVID season. But I'm one of the few stick burners still left out there. Everybody's going to either pellet or drums.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, drums are
killing it. They are killing it. Why stay up all night long? You can bang it out in 6 hours.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I get some sleep. I gotta sleep.
Oh man, which I after I've got a few comps under my belt and I'm sitting out there at midnight wondering why I'm the only one awake with a fire going, getting ready to put butts on, and get to talking and asking, just like anybody else, just trying to learn, and they're like, I just thought I was doing what I do at home, 225, real low and slow, and let it cook for about 10, 12 hours. Oh, it's like, no, man, bump it. Get that temp on up there and you get them done in 5 or 6 hours.
So that said,
get you some rest.
When you go from the stick burner to the pellet grill, are you switching up your progress, your game at all? Is your process the same?
It's the same. I actually get an extra hour and a half of sleep.
Nice.
That's huge. That is huge in the barbecue world.
Oh yeah, they was laughing at me. My neighbors they was watching for me because they kept. Everybody knows I'd get up at 5 o'clock and start my charcoal chimney. Well, they said they got up about 6, and they hadn't seen movement out of me. So I walked out in my underwear and hit the power button and went back in, and I could hear them horse laughing outside. So hit the power button on that pellet cooker and went back in there and put my clothes and everything on. I come out and they're like, man, you sleeping late this morning. I was like, well, I got this electric cooker now. I can sleep a little later.
It's the one reason I do it is because, it's the best.
You know what I've noticed in competitions too? Like, I don't know about you. You're never there. I guess you are, Rusty, but about that 7 o'clock hour, you hear everybody's alarms start chirping. And it's almost like a natural alarm. All these thermowork products are just all beeping around 7 o'clock. You're like, okay, it's time to fire up the pellet grill. Get chicken and ribs ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, we usually, we're about 6 o'clock in the morning, earliest. So, winning team of the year for chicken, what kind of tips would you give someone who's looking to get in the backyard? Like they're saying, hey, I want to go cook one. I'm so nervous about it. I don't know what to do, where to start. What's kind of some advice, at least in chicken, let's start there, that you can give them to get started?
I guess probably one of the biggest keys was, if you actually think about it, once you've got your time and all your prep work and your money invested and everything, there's no sense in going buying the cheapest chicken or cheapest ribs you can find. I'd say get a good quality meat. You can get chicken dirt cheap out here, but they're just the quality of the skin and the fat content is just, and I say a good quality meat. It don't have to be an expensive high quality meat. Like I use a Publix grain wise. Mm-hmm. Everybody's got a Publix. Y'all got Publix out west out there?
Nope.
Y'all ever heard of it? You know what I'm talking about?
Negative. Negative.
I lived in New Orleans. Okay. We had Winn-Dixie's. That was it.
Closest thing we can relate with down south is Kroger's.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's Kroger's. We don't have one here in town, but we do about an hour from here. But Publix, I call it a high-end grocery store. It's got some of the fancier stuff in there, I guess, if that Walmart's not going to have, or like I said, a Winn-Dixie or whatever. But they've got a brand that I like to use. And I cook legs, just because. Of course, we started with thighs, and after watching videos and TV and barbecue shows and videos, more videos, man, it would take me like 3 hours to prep 18 pieces of chicken.
And after shigging on Chester.
Oh, yeah. Now Chester on the Bama-Q, now he really helped me get my chicken game turned around to Scott and Suzanne, Southport. They put on a little class at their house one Sunday, and I run over to it, and I've learned a lot from them, and like I said, Chester. But back to the chicken. I'd say I get one of the higher quality. You got Springer Mountain is real big down here. Y'all got Springer Mountain out that way?
We order it.
Yeah, I used to get that.
Yeah, that's how we used to.
Yeah, a lot of folks, if you can find it, I do know some that order it, but yeah, just a higher quality meat than the cheapest. Don't buy the cheapest.
What is your tip on picking chicken out in person? Are you looking for like a white skin, consistent sizes? What are you looking for when you go and look for that chicken?
To be honest, I just look at the weight. Like on my legs at Publix, they come in a 5-pack. So I look for a weight around about a pound and a half, 1.5, 1.52 pounds is where I try to find them. And if I'll buy 20, and I squeeze 16 or 17 in 2 foil pans. And that's all I'll cook, just 2 pans worth, about 16 or 17 pieces. And but just try to find them those 5 legs, and try to get 4 packages about the same weight, around a pound and a half for the whole package. It's like anything bigger than that seems like might be too big for the judges, and anything smaller than that, of course, is just way too small. Don't fill a box up. It just don't look good. So, that's about a pound and a half for 5 legs is what I try to shoot for in the package. And it's actually hard. I've had to make multiple trips during the week. I actually know the days they get a truck, because I don't know if it's just last year didn't have any problem. I could go in there any day, but I guess with this COVID and everything, I've had to go more. And actually, I've got another Publix across the river in Muscle Shoals that I've had to run to. So I've got 2 Publixes within 15 miles of each other that I can make multiple trips if I need to. But it's been hard to get 4 good packages.
So it's kind of intimidating because everyone does, the thighs, where we learn the thigh. That's just what it is. And it's interesting because you think of a leg, and when I think of one, I don't want to do it because of all the tendons inside. You know, you have that little flappy thing. The skin thing pulls on the top and on the bottom. It's super intimidating. What is the process of trimming something like that and getting it ready for a competition?
Well, see, that's one thing about legs, I guess, that kind of got me. I actually got hooked on legs by accident. Very first set I tried. Luckily, I cooked some legs that day just playing because my thighs, all the skin shrank up to the top, looked like a $50 sitting on a chunk of chicken. So I trashed those and just turned them legs in and got a good call that day. So from that day on, I've been cooking legs. And trimming parts is really not a whole lot to do. I'll peel the skin back off the leg to free up any connecting tissue or anything that's got that skin, and just kind of just thread it back up on there and stretch it a little bit and being real careful. But I know a lot of people will cut the tendon out or just clip it where it won't blow out. But I guess it's kind of a picky poison deal. The prep part's a whole lot easier, but when you go to getting to your done temperature, you got a couple of 2 to 3 degree window to where you can have a really good leg or garbage.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll either undercook it or overcook it within 2 to 3 degrees, and then that tendon blow out. And just, you know, if it blows out too bad, it'll blow the whole bottom side of your chicken out.
Mm-hmm. What temperature is that? Just for some of our listeners, what temperature do you usually see that blow out at? I
will start watching about 180 to 180, about 100. If you go over 185 or 86, that tendon will be blown. It'll blow out. So about 180, if you can maybe catch it right when it's starting to swell, maybe, and catch it right before it blows, and it'll still be pretty underneath. Of course, even if it does blow and and don't blow around the side or the edge of the leg, you can trim that. And they've already judged, if it does blow out, they've already judged appearance. You know what I'm saying? So if you got a big gap underneath, that's another thing, I guess. You got to turn that tendon. The bigger, there's 2 tendons, one on each side. The bigger one's the one that's going to blow. So I turn those down.
Okay, in the presentation box.
Said that. Yeah, when I cook, I'll turn them down.
Oh, heard. Okay.
And I know it, like I said, the bigger tendon is the one that's going to pop. So you turn it down. Of course, on your legs, you got lefts and rights. So I'll turn that tendon to the down. And then if it does pop, you can't really see it unless it blows and peels out the side of the chicken leg. So I'll always turn those tendons. It's going to pop, turn it down. If it does blow out a little bit, you can just take and clip it. And then, you know, once you get your presentation box set up, if it did blow out, they've already judged appearance by the time they notice it. So,
yeah, that's. I want to try it just because it's. You think it would be easy, but it feels like it'd be harder, you know, to get right. And you know, we cook our chicken to 197 degrees, and I don't think you could probably pull that off with a leg. I don't know. Is that? Do you have what kind of?
No. Well, I mean, you can, but
because that fat will melt
you
then,
just have to,
and your chicken will be bite through. Is it bite through at 185? You have obviously you have zero problem with that because you've been killing it, chicken. So
yeah.
So it just
and you know what I'm talking about is not really. I've told anybody. It's not really secrets to me. You know, it's just you just got to learn to do it and play with it, depending on your cooker and what type of, I call it, I guess, what type of heat you got. If it's a drier heat or a wetter heat, or depending on when you, of course, I'll wrap my pans of chicken part of the way through the process and get a good steam on them and soften that skin up where you can get a good bite there. But, you know, it's just playing. You know, if anybody wants to play, we play with them. Just probe them, pull you some out at 180, put them back in there, pull some out at 182 or 3, put them back in there, pull some out at 187, you know, and just try and take bites and just kind of see. But about 190, it's going to start really just getting mushy, and the judges will know it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it'll have no texture at all to it. I guess kind of like biting in a stick of butter. Once you get about 190, it's no texture at all. It'll just be mush, and they'll dang you for being overcooked. So I try not to let them get to 190 if I can keep from it. Of course, depending on the size of your legs, a bigger leg might need 190, you know, to get the same texture as a smaller leg at 187 or 188, whatever. But
yeah, I was trying to find a picture of your chicken on your Instagram, and you don't have one, so you should.
Yeah,
he's trying to keep those secret.
I've got to get better. I've got to get better about my posting, because I mean, I've got some really, really great sponsors that help me out, and I'm not posted in a while. But yeah, unless you've seen it on the Bama-Q show, I'm not one of these to post pictures of my stuff. You know? I'll tell you all you want to know. And show you pictures on my phone.
There you go.
But not everybody gets to see that.
That's right. And I don't know why. I just don't. And that's what I've told folks before. And I don't know. I guess I'm kind of believe it or not, I'm kind of a shy guy, you know. And just, I don't want to come across as bragging, oh, look how pretty my chicken is, or, you know. I guess one of the biggest things too is if I see pictures of somebody's chicken or ribs that they posted that was at the same comp I was at, and they beat me or got a better score than I did in that chicken category, and I see their chicken, and I know dang good and well my chicken looks a whole lot better than that.
Yeah.
But yet they still beat me. It drives me nuts.
Right?
I don't have that problem.
No, you don't.
I don't, because my boxes look like crap.
No, they look decent. You're getting better. You're spending some time on them now.
They're getting better, but for a while it looks like, you know, my daughter painted with her foot. You know, it's like it was terrible.
I've seen you some pictures, Anthony.
All right.
Yeah,
I'll send you some after this is over with.
I'd like to see them. You never know, like, but kind of like what you're saying, like if you're a winning team and you start posting your pictures of your boxes and it's something a little bit more creative, you will see a trend of people start shifting and start making the exact same box, which then becomes a disadvantage on your end. So it's kind of one of those gray areas.
Right.
Well, we have a team, Crooked Pigs, and they are literally the best box makers I've ever seen in my life, and I've seen a lot. Yeah. And so every single competition we're at with them, there, you know, there's always the word in the trailer. Have you seen Crooked Pigs of boxes yet? And like, no, I don't want to look at them. No, just let me pretend like, you know, the one that looks like we threw up in the box will win. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And so you know, nothing fancy about my box. I do the green leaf lettuce disc method. Y'all ever seen or heard of that?
Oh, no. See, here we go.
Wrap it up in saran wrap.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah. Wrap it in saran wrap and then slice little discs.
Oh yeah, with the
lay them in there,
the romaine, right?
And then clip it and then pull out your cellophane, and there you go.
Yep. And there it is. So I can build, for my girlfriend, she can build boxes in 5 or 6 minutes, whereas when we first started with kale, would take about an hour per box.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't take long to get us changed over to the little green leaf lettuce discs.
Yeah, we got to do something because I have my teammates do it, and then I find something to do. I'm like, oh, it's box time. Okay. And they get all out. Oh, I got to go to the bathroom real quick. And I'm and I'm climbing out the bathroom of the hotel, the window, you know, like, ugh.
Yeah. And, you know, of course, you don't have to have any kind of garnish in there. But my theory when we first started was, well, if the judges, I think in 18, or maybe the year before was when they started that brought it out on the rules that you don't have to have garnish, or it's not required. So my thinking was, well, if they're used to seeing it, let's just go ahead and do it. in the years past before we ever even started cooking, if they're used to seeing garnish, then let's just keep putting it in there. And I think that's most everybody's thoughts also, because I've seen very, very few boxes that, all the folks we travel around with that don't put, everybody puts lettuce or some type in it, kale, but I don't think I know anybody that doesn't put any garnish at all in it.
Right. Well, we talked about that on the show before. It's obviously makes your meats pop a little bit being on the greenery, but it also locks them into positions. So when you're moving that box and the judges are moving it around, that meat is sticking to the spot where you put it. It's not going to slide. It's not going to get sauce everywhere. So it helps for sure. If
you've got a little extra sauce and it were to puddle up, then you got some greenery for it to drain down through and not be as visible as if you didn't have any at all. So, she can build a box. Yes. Oh yeah, it does. And like I said, it just kind of gives it a little pop, kind of frames your artwork up that you fixed your meat so pretty for. It kind of gives it a little background and a little different color.
So same question, I guess, with chicken moving into ribs. What is your process there? What kind of ribs are you choosing? What's a good tip you can give someone, like I said, looking to get into this game, but is really like, what am I doing?
When I can get my hands on some good com parts, that's my favorite. I love a com part rib. I can get the Allegiance. Of course, Allegiance and Compart are both Duroc pork. I can get Allegiance here locally. When we first started, I was cooking Publix ribs and getting some good calls. So you're looking at, if you can catch a Publix rib, I mean, and already trimmed too, down to a spare. Or a St. Louis cut. You can catch them on sale and get a slab for $6, $5 or $6 versus, upwards of $20 or $22 for the comparts per slab. So, but there again, you can compete with a lower end rib, but after a while, I'm like, I'm out all this money. I might as well buy the best product that I can.
Yeah.
And
100%.
Of course, I know guys that are very, very successful using Smithfields. And I've cooked Smithfields, but that's the thing. You can put into it as much as just starting out. You can put into it as much as you want to, but I still think you can compete. Well, I know you can because I did. Without spending the expense of the higher end porks and the chickens, that you can compete with grocery store level ribs and chicken. So, and that's I tell people, it's like, man, if you'll just come try it, you can. People are cooking on Weber grills. Borrow your buddies, where you and your buddy bring you Webers. Y'all could smoke on those. If you don't know how, we'll show you.
Mm-hmm.
You can cook butts on Weber grill. I mean, sky's the limit with a 22-inch Weber grill.
Yep, that's the most versatile. I tell people all the time, like, what smoker should I get from my backyard? About a Weber, and like, that's a grill. Like, no, it's not. Yeah. It's actually an excellent smoker, and it's and a grill. So really, you win. Yeah. You figure that out. You can figure anything out.
Oh yeah, $100 down here at the big box Lowe's store down here, and then you go to a comp and do your thing, and at very, very minimum expense. And the only thing, I guess one of the biggest things where I've tried to help people out on. Seems like most of you new guys, they're really, really proud of their barbecue because their family loves it, their neighbors love it.
Yep.
their the kids love it, the wives, everybody, and they come to a comp with their homemade sauces and rubs, and which is great at home. But I tell them, like, look, these people, just they've spent hours and hours and probably paid scientists and foodologists or what the crap ever to figure out these seasoning blends. Spend $8 and buy you a rib rub and a chicken rub, or a pork rub and a chicken rub, and leave that homemade stuff at home.
I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more.
You know, but it's hard now. These guys, I'm one of them. I brought my homemade butt rub, pork rub, to my first comp and got a 12th or 13th, whatever it was, you know, but that didn't last long.
Mm-mm.
So, yeah, and then the homemade sauces, you know, I'm like, these folks, these people's got manufacturers and co-packers, and they've done spent all the time and did their homework, and they know what blends match well together. And I just spend, like I said, you know, $8. I'm just guessing the average bottle out there for sauce or a rub, and just buy some that's strictly a chicken rub or a pork rub. You know, they got all the sugars balanced out. Some of them do, I guess. I'm sure some of them don't. But you know, they've got everything.
Some are more sugar than others.
Up, so.
Yeah, some are like spicier. Some are less. Like the three little pigs they don't use a lot of salt, which is weird.
Yeah,
you know, but they're great rubs. They're amazing rubs.
Yeah, that's actually, you mentioned that Academy Sports here in town. That's where, after I started or decided to quit using my homemade stuff, that was one of the very first rubs I bought to competition barbecue with. It was 3 Little Pigs.
Mm-hmm. Cherry rub?
Touch of cherry?
Touch of cherry?
You know, I never used a whole lot of cherry on anything other than my wood. I'll use a little cherry wood every now and again.
Yeah, I love the 3 Little Pigs rubs. I can't help it. I just love them.
But I want to mention just a little bit. I don't want to discourage people from trying to get creative. Yes, we're mentioning commercial brand stuff, but when it comes to like sauces and stuff like that, the first thing you do is you always get the biggest bottle of Blues Hogs you can and pour that in a jar, and then add to that. Then you'll be just fine.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you're right. I mean, you know, bring your stuff, and hey, if it works, it works. But you know, that was my theory. Was by the time I spent $100 to make a gallon baggie of rub, that's half of it's going to go stale before I use it all. Just buy it $8 at a time, and not have to worry about it going stale. And that's another little thing that I figured out. Is it don't take long for a bottle of rub to go bad on it. Not go bad, but just lose its pop and its flavor and its intensity. It don't. I used to be stingy, and man, I'd use it down to the last drop. But if it gets 3 or 4 weeks old and I still got some, I'll try to keep a stockpile. I'll open up with a brand new jar.
Yeah.
You just take the leftovers, put it in a big Ziploc, and then that becomes your catering rub. It just
yeah.
It's like
when you got to do a bunch of butts.
Yep.
When you just pour them all into one, like a suicide back when you're getting like the drinks.
That's what I do. I literally have a container and I just dump my leftovers in there and always go to a competition with a brand new bottle.
Don't get catering from Anthony though.
Well, no, it's actually probably my best rub.
Well, but yeah, everybody's most of the organizers is wanting to go to a 2-meat contest. So, like you're talking about, I take, you know, I have a little bit of rub that may have had a little moisture gotten into it. I will save all those. When we do a butt contest, that's what I'll use. I'll mix everything together. Stuff that's had a little moisture starting to cake up, and I'll bust them clumps up and use that for my butts.
Nice.
And actually got a first place butt call over in Georgia this year by doing that.
Wow.
So I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. So
see, Rusty, there you go.
It
it's your catering bag. Trust me, it's like the best rub, and it changes every time. It's not consistent.
Well, I've got an entire barbecue store in back here that's probably full of rubs that are expired. But it's true because we make this little dust for some of our food for the competitions, right? And
Yeah.
we had a couple that were sitting there for a long time. Like, you know what? I'm going to toss these and start fresh, you know? we had been used to eating this dust for so long that the second they made it with fresh rubs, and we grind it into a fine dust, pop it in, it's like, boom, oh my God, that's crazy how pungent,
right?
How fresh is so important. But one thing I want to kind of go back on there real quick is as far as like using rubs that, you know, so when I started out, I was that guy. I was the guy who said, I'm going to make my own, you know. I didn't even know what the hell a St. Louis cut was. We're using baby backs, you know, we're just throwing, you know, caution to the wind. Got a 5th place chicken call out of 7 teams, man. I'm flying high, right? And so, so I saw the ribs of the winner and I'm like, what is that? It's like a St. Louis cut. I'm like, oh, cool. I want to do that next time. And then he asked to tell me the rubs. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna start using commercial rubs. So I did. And now I'm kind of going back on, maybe I want to make my own, but I went through that process of making my own, right? Not doing well because like you said, you know, who knows? Like my neighbors like it. My family likes it. Great. You know, like they always say, like charge them $20 and then tell me what they think, you know, but then going to certain rub develop, you know, going to classes and using rubs and developing my own like little, you know, gig. Now I kind of got a good idea of what I want and what I like. So I feel like if I went back to the drawing board, started creating my own rubs, now that I have a better palate, that I could actually probably be successful in it. But, you know, if I'm just starting out again, if I'm in the backyard, and like you said, don't use your own rubs and sauces. Wait until you get a good palate. Wait till you know what you're looking for first, you know? You're using McCormick's your whole life. It's not going to work.
Do not use McCormick's. Go bougie. Go bougie.
They show up like, well, I got some McCormick's and some KC Masterpiece. Let's rock and roll.
Yeah. Don't let Rusty fool you a little bit either. This whole like, I'm thinking about going back and doing my own rubs.
Yeah, I have one right here.
He brings this down to me tonight. Hey, try this. For you people that are listening. Oh wow. He handed me this 18-ounce bottle of rub. It's like, look what I made. So, so he is actually on that train currently.
It's good though.
You try it? Yeah, it's good.
You did try it?
No, it's actually really good. This is the first time Rusty and I agreed on something that tasted good.
But that's when I said, like, I would never be able to make this before, you know, before competition, before I developed a palate for it. I would never be able to do what I'm doing here, you know? And so it's like, if you want to make your own rub, just wait until you understand.
Yep. And then add some MSG to your rub and you'll be good to go.
Yeah.
And so that's what it hit me again. And I would start rambling, y'all. You have to cut me off. But that's talking about $8 rubs. To me, that's an average, like a Michael Reed's rub.
Oh yeah.
But now I really got a couple of sponsors that's got some really good rubs, some Hardens.
Who are they? Just throw them out there. They're your sponsor. Tell us who they are.
Yeah. Hardens is one of them. They make a really, really good steak. Beef rub. It's not labeled as a steak rub. I think it's labeled as an all-purpose, but it's good on anything beef or anything in general. I put spaghetti. Then he's got a blue label, I call it. It's good for chicken and poultry. I use that. That's one of my rubs that goes on my chicken. But then the University of Q products. He's a local guy here. He's got sauce. I use his barbecue sauce. It's called GPA sauce. I use his quad rub. And then another really good friend of mine in Kentucky makes a Tennessee Thunder. It's similar to, I guess, the Boar's Night Out. Y'all probably heard of the salt, pepper, garlic mixes out there.
Yep.
But I like it better, the Boar's Night Out myself. It's called Tennessee Thunder, but those three go with me everywhere I go. And like I said, I'll mix in some Malcolm stuff and Heath Riles. But anyways, the point I was getting at is it's a Fiesta brand seasoning. Academy here, you can get a jar of their chicken rub for like $2.99, just crazy cheap, and it's really good. They've got a beef rub, a pork rub, but it's a Fiesta brand. But you know, you can get a really good rub for just pennies on the dollar, you know, a couple of bucks. So.
But yeah, and if you're in that area, you should definitely look at those options because they're tried and true, obviously, you know, because you're winning with them.
Yeah.
But you know, it's go out and explore. A lot of these places you can go just put on your hand and eat it, you know, and get an idea. And some of these people that, you know, call up these people that Russ just talked about, and they'll give you flavor profiles. They'll break it down for you, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah. So, and I see things all the time on Facebook where people are doing a rub swap out, you know, trying to get people involved in using different things and trying different things. That's pretty neat. But and then sample pack giveaways and different things. Of course, I had never won a whole lot on a free entry on Facebook. So
yes.
If I won anything, I've had to pay for a ticket, you know.
I won a virtual contest. I didn't win one. I'm sorry. But I scored actually very well considering how many people were in it. And I didn't even show up. I didn't even do it. I don't know how that worked.
Oh, yes. Your virtual contest.
I actually scored better than someone who actually did it. So I was like, all right.
Actually, that was me. I think you beat me.
No, I beat Matt Hansen.
Oh, yes.
So that's hilarious. Are you injecting your ribs or your chicken?
I do inject chicken.
You don't inject ribs at all?
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just kind of depends on what I feel like when I get there. And I'm not really, I can't say that one always does better than the other, you know. So if it's a real, I guess, like I said, it's mostly on what I feel like. If I just get lazy, I won't do it, I guess. Or if we're a lot going on Friday nights, that's another big thing about us down here in Alabama. We usually we'll do a big potluck or something on Friday night, or a seafood bowl, or you know, all of us will get together by the fire and do adult things on Friday night and drink adult things and just have a big old time. So if I get into doing that too much, then if I don't get them injected, okay. If I do, if I got time, then I will. But like I said,
this is ribs strictly, right? This is only ribs you're talking about. Do you always do chicken?
Ribs, yeah.
Okay.
I always do chicken. And I'll do a brine, University of Q party foul brine. I think he's had to change the name. Some kind of infraction going on there, but it's made by University of Q. It's a chicken brine, poultry brine. I'll brine it and inject it with the brine. So.
That's what we kind of do for the most part. Well, we inject it and we wrap it into cellophane and let it kind of marinate in itself, you know. Saran wrap.
Next level.
So we'll wrap it.
Y'all may have just let me wrap it down.
Yeah, we'll wrap them individually, and two things will happen. It keeps its shape.
Yeah.
Right? And when we inject through the saran wrap, and it just sits inside of it. And then when we unwrap it, when we're ready to go.
Yeah.
And then I can do that the night before and just have it chilling, you know.
Pro tip.
That's a great idea. Great idea.
Pro tip.
Good tip.
So
Thank you.
let me ask you one thing. So we have a lot of teams out here. You know, like I told you, the backyard scene isn't really big here. And hopefully this COVID thing clears up because we're about to try and make it happen for Utah this year. Some of these teams might come back and listen to this episode. What is some advice you can give these new teams going to the backyard? Explain to me they come to you and say, "Hey Russ, man, what do I do? What do I do?"
Oh man. Gosh, where do I start? It seems like a great big, gosh, I got to do this, I got to do that. The biggest thing is to just relax and just cause you see, if you get that, you know, you hear people talking and, well, they've got this or they've got that. They've got 18 rubs they're using on their ribs and 12 rubs they're using on the chicken. Just do your thing. If they're wanting or thinking about doing a competition, undoubtedly they've got some good barbecue at home. Bring that, and I didn't mean earlier when I was talking about throwing your homemade rubs away. Hey, if it works, it does, but from what I've seen, for the most part, the judges are used to a certain flavor profile, and most of the time it's going to be, a commercial rub. But bring it, it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg, maybe just up to your forearm on your arm, but not an arm and a leg. Just jump in and do it. Bring you a couple of rubs and a cooler and some meat and just have a good time. We've really enjoyed and just met so many people. It's just we talk to them daily, weekly. They're a family now. So it's just, it ain't all about the cook. It ain't all about the winning. It's about meeting new people and just having a great time. And it's just so hard to explain unless you're out here doing it.
Yeah, I like that.
I've hunted and fished all my life. Yes, we love it, and my hunting and fishing has decreased quite a bit since I started barbecuing. So it's it's one of the most addicting things I've ever done in my life.
Deer hunter competition. I don't know.
I chose deer hunting last year, by the way.
You would, though. You would. You wouldn't want to go lose to me in another competition. I get it. I wouldn't want to do that either. But like you said, be comfortable and be cool and have fun, because it is like that. Like our first comp was so much fun. And don't get intimidated, because you're going to show up to a backyard competition and there's going to be that guy in a trailer and he's got stickers and he looks fancy. And you're going to think, I'm not going to beat that guy. I can't tell you how many times that guy, just because he has a trailer, doesn't mean he's good. It just means he doesn't know how to spend money. That's all it is.
I know. That's one of the first guys we met that got really close to from South Alabama. Tim Barkley. He's Sneaky Creek Barbecue. He will roll into a comp at 10 o'clock at night. Now, he's upgraded himself a little bit, but he would roll into a comp at 10 o'clock at night and go grab two folks to inspect his meat right quick, unload 3 barrels out of the bed of his truck, a tent and a box and a table. And when you got up in the morning, that rascal was cooking and rolling, and he'll go catch a grand, and he's loaded and in his truck pulling out by the time you get back. Just simple, and we'll come in there and flat tear our tails up with 3 homemade barrel smokers, and just in the bed of just a single cab truck.
Yeah, that's Parrot Smokers.
That's one of the best cookies. Don't get intimidated by the rigs you see and the trailers you see, because everybody I've ever talked with started out everybody started the same, either in the bed of a truck with a pull behind 4-wheeler trailer with crap thrown all over it, and tents and pop-up tents and chairs, and just started.
And an easy up you bought from Costco, and the wind just barely picks up, it folds on your entire camp. That happened to me.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And kind of like those things too, cook within your budget too. You know what I mean? Like if you can afford the expensive stuff, do it. Obviously you're going to get a lot better results, but practice with, if you don't have a big budget, practice with the low end meats and you will perfect them. My first grand championship, Rusty, I spent $98 on my meat for 4 categories. I was broke. I got talked into the competition. I was like, I have $100 bill in my pocket. I'm going to go get all my meats. I ended up pulling a grand champion out with $100 worth of meat. Mm-hmm. So it's just cook with confidence. Cook with confidence. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who he'll cook with Costco Prime,
Yeah.
Kills it. And it's just, it's good to have the solid meats, because you can win on anything, but kind of like Russ said, to be consistent, those quality meats really push you into the consistency, because you got your grand champion, but that's not going to last, for a long time, because you're up against X and Y.
But cook within your budget. If you can only afford X amount, keep cooking that within your budget and get it good, and you'll be just fine.
Because you can win with anything.
Yes.
That's right. That's exactly right. You can. And like I said, just keep practicing with whatever you're going to cook with, and perfect that, and you'll do okay. Speaking of getting folks involved, I don't know who he's been talking to, but a real good friend of ours, that's KCBS rep Randy Bigler.
Yeah,
has been talking to some backyard guys out in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure who it was he was talking to about helping to grow contests out there for y'all backyard contests.
It's probably this guy to my right.
Yeah, I didn't talk to Randy. I don't believe it was Myron. But
yeah, Myron Berry.
Was it Randy?
No, Myron Berry is.
Yeah, it was Randy. It was Randy Bigler. That's right. It was Randy, and yeah, it was both of them. It was me.
Yep. Like I said, it's probably this guy to the right.
I was like, I know that guy's name. Yeah, I know Randy. Wait. No, yeah.
That guy. If y'all will stay in Randy and Myron's hip pocket, they are two of the most proactive. Now they're for everybody. Don't get me wrong, pro and backyard, but they really, really love to see good turnout at the backyard comps,
mm-hmm.
and they have helped us. So they were. I know those two were very instrumental in getting KCBS to start. Following the backyard's points,
mm-hmm.
and acknowledging, what we do week in and week out. But yeah, keep Randy in your back pocket. He will go, him and Myron both, they will go beyond all expectations to help y'all do whatever it is you need done out there. They are really great guys. And Myron's actually here from Florence, and he's the organizer for this cook here in Florence that draws 53, 54 backyard teams.
Dang.
Wow.
So
I met Myron up at the Invitational. He was there. Said hey to him.
That's right. He was.
Yeah.
He sure was.
But Randy, I need to get a hold of those guys. I need to start rolling on that.
Yes, they will. They'll do whatever they got to do to help y'all get it growing out there and getting folks involved.
Oh, cool. Well, hey, Russ, we do appreciate your time on here, man. If you guys want to follow him, maybe he can post some chicken pictures on his Instagram. You can check him out on Bama-Q. You can see him there. He gets, you get some good airtime on there after a while. Like, I think it was last season, if I remember right. But
yeah. And we've got some stuff. We've done some stuff with this COVID, believe it or not. We've did some off-site at a residence, some different things, some shots and stuff. So that ought to be airing. Last I heard, they were still planning on doing a season 4. It's going to be like a best of.
I hope so.
Past 3 seasons and do some highlight things. And we've shot some live stuff. Actually, we went and shot it. If we got time, let me mention this.
Sure.
Since y'all are familiar with the show, Bee's Knees,
mm-hmm.
the Jeff Cole of Bee's Knees, the smart one. One of them's dumb, one of them's smart. No, I'm kidding.
Oh man.
Jeff has come down, y'all. Everybody listening, y'all keep him in your prayers. He has come down with a COVID about, I think I saw an update earlier, 21 days ago. He's been in the hospital for 21 days. Been on a ventilator about 14 days, and his body's not. He's having some trouble with this COVID. So
good. I've never met him, but he's one of the best parts of Bama-Q. I think the guy is hilarious.
Him and his buddy Jeff, Brent Borland.
Mm-hmm.
They are absolute nuts, but I mean, they will help you do anything. I mentioned Chester and Scott and Suzanne will go, but they've actually helped me out with chicken also, giving me some pointers and things. But they are really great guys and just hilarious to be around. They're the life of the party when you're ever around them. But yeah, Jeff's having a rough time right now, so maybe one day if he gets to get out of that hospital, can go back and listen to this podcast. Jeff, we're praying for you. Hope everything goes well, buddy.
100%, man.
Yep.
Really are. That's cool. And like I said, never met him, but I mean, he just seems like such a genuine dude. And it's really fun to watch, him, you, everyone on Bama-Q And like I said, if you haven't watched it, go watch it.
Yeah.
It's. See, I always say that BBQ Pitmasters was always only good for one season, and that was the first. I liked it after. I really, really liked it after. I did. Second season, sorry, I don't care who's listening. It was terrible. But after that it was a good show, it really was. But that first season was so good, and that's what Bama-Q is. Yeah. It's that first season of Pitmasters, you know.
I went back and watched that first season of Pitmasters so many times. It's not funny, and that's like I said, it's just that's what Bama-Q's trying to do, and none of it stays. It's all just you turn around and boom, there's the camera guys. So we're not ready for anything. So they just show up and there they are. But
you know, you learn a lot on there. You know?
Oh yeah, and it's been a blessing to me. I've met so many folks, and doors been open, like I said, for different things, sponsors, and it's just been a great. I was truly blessed to get invited to be on the show, and so we're just trying to have a good time with it, and hope things we can get back this country and get straightened back out where we can go and do as we want to, and camera crews can get out and not fear of traveling, and that's one of the biggest things. Trying to send, he don't want to send his camera guys all over the country with this stuff going on and trying to film stuff. So we've just been trying to go to them if we need to, if he wants to do some filming. So,
well, I hope it works out
been
because
a great deal.
Right. I hope we don't lose Bama-Q, because if we do, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to cry.
Start your own show.
Well, be looking for season 4. It ought to be coming out, I hope.
Awesome.
Sometime this winter, I guess. I hope it comes out. So, well,
great show, man. I hope we can see you next year at the Invitational, man. Next time, I'll say hey.
Oh yeah, well, I think, did I hear that everybody's? Or was that?
Here we go. Some breaking news.
I think everybody's invited back. Are they not?
I don't know. I haven't heard. I have no idea. I hope so, because I would love to go back and get not last place chicken. That would be great.
Yeah. I think I heard something about.
Well, we have one
everybody
goal
that was there.
I have to look it up. I have to check that out. But I'll tell you what now. I have one goal this year. Our goal as a team is to go back to that Invitational. That's our number one goal. So we got in everything else. We just need that one. I want to go back. Redemption.
Oh yeah, me too. But we've already, whatever the date was, since that date, I've already qualified for next year.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
there it
is. So we will be going back most definitely there. So we will have to get together next year.
Absolutely. I'll come say hi next time, and we're up there for sure, because we will be back. I promise.
I got confidence in you.
Well, thanks, brother. We do appreciate your time, Russ, and good luck to you, man.
I appreciate y'all asking. It was an honor when I got a message from you. I was like, wow, man, I know who that guy is. and then I got to looking into your podcast stuff, and I was like, oh, Rusty. Well, me and Rusty's already friends.
That's right.
I just didn't put it all together, but
yeah.
All right, man.
But it's been an honor. I appreciate y'all inviting me on tonight.
Well, we appreciate you, Russ. It's been awesome talking to you.
Thank you for your time. Yep.
We'll see you soon, bud.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Yes, sir. See y'all.